Hello, hello, hello. I have done a new thing and I just broke it, I think. Wait, what happened? Oh no, that's not good. One moment, I need to check what happened. Um, that I thought I tested it, but I guess I didn't test it enough. This one should be playing. So if the score met, oh wait, no, that makes sense. But it does, no, I know what happened. Yeah, okay, well, that was, I'll get back to it soon. Let's stay in the stream starting view. Yeah, I know what caused the problem, but now it's already too late. Well, as you've just seen, I have done a new thing, and so you see how most people who stream on Twitch usually have like some OBS scenes set up with their visuals. I don't know, like different streamers do it in different ways, but usually they have like a little graphic to show like that stream is starting soon or that they'll be right back. And I don't have anything like that, and so I decided to take that into my own hand and just make a starting soon screen myself inside of Minecraft, because that is what we're using mostly. So yeah, it's yeah, it still has some stuff left that needs to be improved, but overall it is the best that I can do right now without commissioning like any art, which I don't want to do for now. Maybe at a later point. So is it just me, or are some scenes missing from this view? Oh, never mind. The moment I wanted to check out, the right one came. Okay, let's not waste any more time. I want to show you how or what I did. And I have some more stuff to show. Actually, I wanted to talk at the beginning, but just kind of lost all of my words right before stream. I get back to it. But for now, I want to show you the system that I've built right here. And it is a simple stream start timer as the text display entity shows. And what it basically does is, let me actually show the manager. What it actually does is it takes a specific time, which is in this case -13 right now. So wait, let me change it actually. Let's say 300, no wait, let's make it 333. So, and that time gets converted into minutes and seconds, and the seconds get converted into the first digit, and the second one I can actually, if we do it maybe like this, you can see we have, this is better, we have 5 minutes. The second digit of the seconds is 5, as we can see, that's correct. And the first digit is 0, which is also correct. So we have 0, 5. And that is just so that, oh, come on, Minecraft. That is just so that the digits right here show properly. If I don't do that, then the 0 doesn't get shown at all. And so that would mean that it's just a blank space. That doesn't really look too good if it's like 4.6 seconds, let's say, and there's no 0 before that. That's kind of doesn't look great. So that's what I changed. And what this does is basically I have a score that checks is the stream start function on? In this case, yes, it is. And then it counts timer 2 up 1 by tick, or 1 per tick. As you can see, it's going up and down again. That is because once it hits 20, it gets set back to 1. But actually, I think it should be 21 in order to be the correct time. So it always has exactly 20 ticks, which is 1 second to go. And once that is okay, and once it hits 20, it gets set back to 0, and time, which is the overall time that I need, is reduced by 1. What then happens is just a bunch of visual stuff, so the time gets converted into all the different scoreboards, so it's easier to look at, and then it all gets fed into this title comment that also activates once per second. And then once the timer runs out, the title actually gets changed from stream starting in XY seconds and minutes to stream starting soon. And that is where the last error occurred, because I have timer 2 gets checked in here. And timer 2 doesn't get reset if I turn off the function. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. That is an easy command to write. Execute if score stream start manager matches 0, run scoreboard player set timer 2 manager 0. That's literally all. It just basically checks, is the stream start the scoreboard on 0? 0 in this case is off. And if yes, then it sets the timer also to 0, which should fix the problem that we had just in the beginning. Actually, let's test that. So if we set time to 3 seconds, that didn't work. I typed the wrong number in. Okay, now you can see stream starting soon gets repeated, and if I now turn off, yeah, that works perfectly. Not a problem, I have just added a new false scoreboard. Let me remove that. Oh wait, I need to reset, not remove. Okay. Yeah, I have also done some more things. Do I talk about what I wanted to talk about, or? Yeah, come, let's do it. I need to make a function or like a comment that makes this a little bit easier. But anyways, where was I? Yeah, so last stream I talked a little bit about the direction that I want this map to go in, and as well as the idea of making some more advertisement, like uploading shots and clips. And I have actually taken my time and made one clip. I've completely finished it. It's 1.5 minutes long, which I think is a reasonable time for short form content. I'm really not into that kind of content, so I don't know how it actually should look, but well, I'm going to try. It's not yet uploaded. And what I'm planning on doing from now on is maybe getting one clip together per stream and then uploading that on the next day. So what I'm planning to do is every day after streaming, I open my editing software and I render the recorded footage. And then I upload it on the same day. And rendering already takes like 1.5 hours, and uploading can also take 1.5 hours, maybe even more. Which means I usually don't have any time to do anything else in that day because it's already really late once I finish everything. and I want to delay the uploading process by 1 day and instead take that time to edit one short clip that I can then upload the next day as well. So yeah, that is what I was thinking, at least. If I'm actually going to be able to do that, who knows? I hope so. Maybe I'll also do the clip first and then render the stream. Because of rendering already takes like 1.5 hours, it is a very, very likely possibility that I finish rendering and then not edit a clip because I've already had like a 1.5 hour break and my mindset is somewhere else. But we'll see about that. Yeah, I have one complete finished shot that I don't know when I want to upload that. Maybe even today, because it's just finished lying around on my drive. Yeah, and I was also talking about the direction that I want this map to go, and I think I found a solution, something like a solution that works for myself, and that is I just simply don't care. Well, I do care, but I'm going to act like I don't care and just make the best out of it. If you don't remember, I talked about how the 3 maps from this trilogy don't really feel connected in terms of gameplay or in terms of mechanics. And I was kind of worried about how they would connect as one trilogy, not in terms of story, but again in terms of gameplay. Hey Dioli, welcome. I'm fine. How are you? How's your day going? And I decided that I'll try to make the best of it. Like the second and third map are not yet made, so there's still more than enough room to edit my initial idea of those. And I might just be shifting the direction from complete adventure mode to partial adventure mode. So we have a 50-50 in map 2 and 3 and complete survival in the first one. But we'll see about that. Again, there's more than enough time. And until then, I think it's time to turn off the cinematic cam as well as shaders, because it's not nice to build with shaders on. Hey, that's nice. Time to relax then. Yeah, okay. So, last time what we did is we started building the city just a little bit, made some progress on the houses. I think it looks very cozy, though it obviously still needs a lot of work. And yeah, I want to continue that today. Maybe we'll actually start with something simple and build this little backyard street kind of thing behind those houses, just to get me back into the building mood. And then I think I want to work on the layout that reaches up to the top layer. We have 2 ways up to the top layer, which is one time through a staircase that will be here and one time through this tower that leads directly up here. And yeah. Damn. The teachers didn't talk this through together, I guess. Poor teacher. Doesn't know what's happening. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I've also had a very busy day today. I was eating with my family and I am so incredibly full. Like the portions that they serve in that restaurant are so enormously big. I can't even put it into words. I have only finished half of my food and I am usually someone who eats a lot. So I have a full portion for tomorrow as well, because I'm not going to eat today anymore. Yeah, okay. I think this could, yeah, maybe a mix of coarse dirt and moss. Did I replace all of my blocks with common blocks? Yes, I did. Let's just take them out again. Yeah, mud, coarse dirt, and the two moss types. Okay, that is very funny. I love teachers like that. Yeah, it's always important to have some good fun while working. And that sounds like exactly that. And I actually think I want to place another house right on this cliff that's maybe a little bit further up and has some bridges going around the entire mountain range. Maybe connecting some extra bridges to other mountains that may eventually lead up to this point. That might be an interesting idea. Just what I was thinking about. Yeah. I'm so tired. When I came home, I could have just literally fallen asleep on my bed in that exact moment. I think if I had closed my eyes for just a second, I would have been gone. Yeah, that's the problem with eating a lot. Because you are absolutely done for the day after eating so much. But I mean, you have to do that once in a while, right? Okay, and I want to keep the coarse dirt right next to the houses. Yeah, Daryl, I think you weren't here last stream, so again for you, I built this city. And oh wait, I went straight into building, but I wanted to showcase even more. Yeah, so you remember when I talked about I wanted to add a leveling system with some skills? This is it. So this leveling system is not done. It goes up to level 30. Right now I only have mapped out 10 levels. But as you can see, it gives you HP, attack, and mind speed. Attack and mind speed, once you reach max level, will be double the speed it usually is. And HP, you get a total of 5 hearts. Ah, no, no problem. No problem. Just imagine me building a city. Yeah, right. So, and every 5 levels, you gain 1 skill point, which you can use to buy skills. And what I have right now is either 30% less cooldown when using axes, which is nice for people who like to use axes in combat. That 30% cooldown is a good chunk of more speed. I think what is the usual anyways, the next skill is when full HP gains speed boost. This is a really simple one. If you are max health, you will just be able to run around a little bit faster. Then we have 20% chance to restore 1.5 hearts when killing an enemy. Something like lifesteal, you know, a vampire effect. You kill something and they give you life back. Damn, why they judging the Pikachu head? That's some drip. Okay, and we have The next skill is play a sound when near an unopened chest. This is for the people who like to explore a lot and want to find everything. Just makes it a little bit easier. Then we have receive a strength boost when killing 3 enemies in quick succession. This is kind of like a combo skill. If you can hold a combo up, then you will get rewarded for that. Yeah, sure. Please send me that. I would be interested. And the last one, this might be a little bit unbalanced. Gain resistance based on damage blocked with a shield. A max of 10 seconds. So you see when you block with a shield, that actually gets tracked in your stats. And the way it is tracked is in the damage that is blocked gets put into that stat, and you can put the number into a scoreboard, which means if you, let's say, block 1.5 hearts of damage, which would be 3 damage, you get 30 points of damage blocked, because there's some decimal numbers there that Minecraft doesn't show. No need to worry too much about it. Oh, it's one of those heads where you like press on the like little hanging things, and then the ears wobble around. I've actually seen a lot of these. They're so fun. Yeah, that's a nice thing that I've seen a lot actually. But yeah. And what happens is it takes the damage that you've blocked and it reduces the number from that scoreboard by a few per tick, and it goes up to a maximum of 10 seconds. One moment. Okay, so sorry for that. Yeah, right. That is all the skills that I've come up with till now. If you have any more ideas for skills, please feel free to send them to me. I actually had 2 more skills that I wasn't able to do because of Minecraft's limitations. One of them being if you hit an enemy with an arrow, like when you shoot him with a bow, you have a 50% chance of receiving that arrow back. But for some unknown reason, Minecraft actually does not have a way to track if an arrow has hit an enemy. And I don't know why. Yeah, that's literally it. I don't know why. Minecraft doesn't have a way to track if an entity was hit by an arrow. You can go around that by making the arrow have a tag that tags other entities near, and then track if the entity has a hurt timer. But I didn't really want to do that. Yeah. Damn. That seems like an actual fun class. I can only imagine what the teachers view when they came in. I just saw that whole class with Pikachu heads that's amazing. Yeah, and also originally I wanted to make the lifesteal skill only give you 1 heart instead of 1.5, but for whatever unknown reason, again, Minecraft doesn't have a way to give the player exactly 1 heart in addition to what they have. I have no idea why that is that way. If you use instant health, you get a minimum of 2 hearts. And if you use regeneration, on one side you have a slight delay because it needs to first give you the health, and then it increments in a weird way that completely skips 1 heart. So you can either get half a heart or 1.5 hearts or more. And I've decided to go for 1.5 hearts because what are you going to do with half a heart? Let's be honest. Yeah. Oh, well, that's great. I can imagine some of my teachers who would have just immediately said, so please take off the heads now, and then immediately jump right into normal class. Yeah, but I'm glad that you had the fun teacher for that. Yeah, imagine the teacher came in with the same head as well. Oh no, that would be too perfect. Yeah, and the last thing that I added is a more optimized to-do list. So you imagine that is it still here? I had a to-do list floating in the sky somewhere around here. I feel like I've removed it. I guess I have, but there was a little to-do list that I hardly used and that was really unprecise. And I have now made a new one that shows the area for what the goal is in color. So we have all of the different colors for different areas and then goals for that specific area listed beneath. Like for the area that we are currently working in Morning More, we have stuff like build path to castle, which as we can see doesn't currently exist. And yeah, a bunch of details that are easy little steps that I can work with. What we are working on right now is finish lower class buildings. That is the point that we are working on today. And I've already wasted half an hour, so let's seriously get into it now. Oh no. Wait, your mom is your history teacher? That could be very awkward. I could not imagine having any of my family members as teachers. Yeah, I think that would be very awkward for me. But okay, I guess it could also be fun in a way. Okay, okay. Yeah, let's not pay too much attention to this little backside. I'm going to work on that later, but for now I want to finish these two houses that are still open. Yeah, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's really sad that it has to be that way. Teaching could be such a fun job. But I guess it's also about like the payment and or do teachers actually get paid well? I think it depends on the school as well. I mean, as long as like the lessons don't suffer from that, it's all right. But in a way, I would still imagine it to be awkward in a way. I don't actually have a keybind to quickly get to my Axiom settings, so I always press R to get to the last slot on my hotbar and then go down with my mouse one. Okay, for stories that could be very fun. And also it's probably nice to have like a teacher always close to you. So if you have like extra questions for tests or whatever, that could be very helpful. Depends on the situation, I guess. Yeah, okay. I think, yeah, I will start with the walls firstly and then go into texture afterwards again. You could also go and put some moss underneath the walls. That would probably make sense. Why have I not done that till now? I can still add it later. Yeah, that's definitely one of the benefits. I mean, just in case you ever have a question, I guess that would definitely be a big help. Oh, sorry for that. That was I probably didn't see it, but there was some flickering lights right now. Wait, is it? I've never been in a situation where any of my classmates have had their family members as teachers. So I actually don't know. I've never been educated on that. But in a way, it would also make sense why that would be illegal because it's in a way an unfair advantage. But also, how are they going to check? Like, how will they know? Unless you are actively stupid enough to tell other people about whatever you're doing at home, whatever kind of benefits you get. Yeah, that sounds like a very, very unnecessary rule. But well, welcome in Germany, where we can't have nice things. Well, we can obviously, but that's an exaggeration. But in a way, rules like that do make me feel like, yeah. Okay, and with that, all of the details on the wall or on the corners are placed. Now time for the shading. Oh damn, I want to replay Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now. Such an amazing soundtrack. I mean, all of the Xenoblade games have amazing soundtracks, but something about the second game, like the third game is definitely my favorite, but something about the second game stuck with me. Something that I can't really put into words. Maybe it's because it was my entry to the series. Maybe it was because it's just so different from the other games. Oh, it's the cast of characters. Like, I absolutely love all of the characters from the third game, but something about the characters in the second game was just so unique. I've actually never seen that or seen it done like that before. So these games have amazing world building. So yeah, but I might before I play the second game again, I definitely need to finish the first one. I still have that open in my backlog. I feel like the moss doesn't really, well, it fits, but also not in a weird way. I don't know. I guess it's because the color stands out too much. Do we have some different wall textures to mix it up? Do I try polished tough? No, not really. Andesite? Oh, that's too bright. Um, Tough bricks or cobblestone? Tough bricks goes in the right direction. Cobblestone is also not too bad, but I think tough bricks is just slightly better. Yeah. Um, yeah. But I would say it's still fun. If like you can see just on their face when they learn about that. Also, it has been getting so hot lately. I am literally burning. On top of my PC running, not my PC really isn't the best. So I guess a lot of the heat in my room comes from that. And oh, it's so unbearable. It gets worse every day. Yeah, PCs in summer are a risky thing to turn on. Yeah, but something about that is also really interesting to me. How your performance in game can actively get worse based on the season that you're in IRL. It's such a simple concept. Yeah, of course, it gets hot outside, so obviously your PC needs to work more to keep it cool. But it's still fascinating in a way. I might also just be stupid right now. Okay. Now for yeah, remember when I said I could just fall asleep right now? That's exactly it. Now for the glow lichen. Not too much. Well, I wouldn't call them miracles, but thank you very much. Anyways, it's usually just some really simple math. It's probably just the way it is made in Minecraft. I need to take a lot of what is it called? A lot of extra steps to reach the goal that would have otherwise been very easy to reach. Well, the VOD is going to be out tomorrow anyway, so there's no reason to. You're not missing anything. It's always possible to just rewatch past streams. Also, I don't know if you were here when I said that, but I have actually finished the first clip that I want to upload, and I've finished editing. It's just lying around on my PC, and I could actually start uploading clips from now on very regularly. Let me actually turn that one off. Yeah, like I make sure to upload all of my streams on YouTube. That is very important to me. I want to make sure that everyone can be able to, or is going to be able to see what I am doing or what I have done previously without needing to feel like they are missing out. I hate FOMO in any kind of way, even if it's just streaming. So that is very important to me. Also, it's nice to have an archive of what you've done previously, maybe a way to look back on older times. I want to build a separator for this house. Could also just place, I could place trapdoors around. Let me actually try that. But yeah, it's totally fine. Don't worry about missing anything. Okay. Where do I get the darker spot? So right now from my view, the right side is darker based on where the sun is set, where the sun is set. But usually it's not sunny outside while playing. But it's still the same. This side is darker, so I will add the shading on this side. I'll make it stronger on this side. And yeah, I think I already have a plan for what I want or how I want today's clip to look. I think it would just be a simple edit of me building these houses. nothing too complicated because it's if I do Streamly clips, obviously I cannot show full projects per clip. I might do it episodically so that you have like clip part 1 and part 2 or whatever that all are from different streams. It show the progression of whatever I'm building at that point. But I'm really not much into that kind of content, so that will be a challenge to get started with. So I noticed that the official CTM community Discord server has a kind of self-advertisement channel where you can send clips or videos and streams of CTM maps. That would be an idea to maybe send just a link to my channel in there every now and then. There are definitely a lot of ways to improve my reach, I would say. I just need to take them. Okay, what was the... Ah, yes, here, tough brick wall. Let me edit some of these in. I'm trying to place them in a way that would make sense shading-wise. So the top left corner is always the one that is a little bit darker. Or like just in general parts around that direction. I hope that makes sense, but I don't know, honestly. I'm just trying out stuff. Okay, but that doesn't look too bad. Now, if I add fences around the roof and trapdoors down the... Okay, yeah, I need to... That was a mistake, wait. That is way too many of the same color. Okay. Okay, that should be a nice gradient. Yeah, that honestly looks good. Just 3 more times. Okay, this wall is a little bit broken on 2 sides, so I will leave some spots open in here. Yeah, like that. Maybe a trap in between, just for extra texture. One up there. Oh, I placed it inside the house. And this is... let me just keep it as a wall. I don't want to deal with that right now. And that will do. And there's enough room for... Okay, well, I need to deal with the walls now anyway, so turn Tinker on. Nope, that was not what I wanted to press. Okay, good. Okay. Now just connect these two. And that is fine. And one more small pillar of trapdoors. Oh no, I had Tinker still on. What have I clicked? Come on, show me. What block have I missed? Oh, it's this one up here. That's not too bad. Okay, let me measure how many blocks is this. 16 in the middle. Oh wait, this is... Oh, that is very practical. That is very practical. That's me... The ruler function from Axiom lets me now split multiple times. So I guess if I... Yeah, if I select this radius and I say split and let's say 13 splits, then it will... Oh, that was bad. Well, it wasn't, but that has just created 13 entities as a connection. Okay, let me get rid of that. But that is actually a very nice tool. That is cool. Split 2. So now here we have the middle, roughly the middle. The actual middle is these 2 blocks, but I don't care. And let me just connect these 2. Is that nice? I'm not sure, to be honest. I can do better, I think. Or do we pivot to fence gates again? I mean, they look nice. Cannot argue with that. Dark oak, maybe. Okay, but it needs something in between. Maybe just normal fences. Let me actually get to another layer on my inventory for that. If I put a normal fence in between every now and then. Okay, that is a lot more texture, but I still think there's some room left for improvement. Maybe this is the point where I place trapdoors? Below and above, maybe? Oh, not really. I have no idea. I was not ready for big buildings. Or I could also just use the stripped logs. Was not the original plan, but I guess in this setting it makes sense. Yeah. Still looks the best, but this still needs a little bit of extra work, like it's very flat right now. Maybe if I extend that one outwards, the building or these houses are not really built to be very tall. No, that's not it. Also, from all the eating, I am very, very tired again. Somehow, everything I do always lines up with stream days. Which also means that I have to end stream early or I'm too tired to keep streaming. On top of that comes this unbearable heat. Oh my god. Okay, let's not do this house right now. I cannot. I literally cannot think use my brain right now. I am just way too hot. Let's build the staircase up to the second layer and then plan the houses for the second layer. I want the staircase to be out of stone blocks. So normal stone would be nice, cobblestone would be nice, tough is always nice. And yeah, let's just keep it at that from now for now and see where it's going. I want to have the staircase be carved naturally into the mountain, so let's terraform the mountain a little bit. Okay, and if we take this and maybe extend it a little bit. Doesn't need to go in a straight line up. It could also just not quite. Maybe if we go in this direction. Make it look a little bit rough, a little bit broken down. So yeah, this is a staircase that is not well maintained. That is well, but I still want it to be a proper staircase, to be honest. Let's maybe do it like that. Yes. Okay, honestly, I can work with this. Also, the walls in this area definitely need a new texture. I might go for a darker cobblestone look instead of having all this gravel and normal stone in here. But for now, let's stick with what we have. Okay. This is honestly looking fine. Now for the texture. Let me just mix in some tuff right here, a little bit cobblestone as a transition. And stone at the very bottom. Yeah, that is honest. It doesn't need too much. This is completely fine this way. And just some normal stone. Okay, and this staircase leads up. And here I will definitely add a railing to make sure that no one falls off. But apart from that, there's enough room for new houses. I want the lowest district of the city to look or be a little bit bigger, just to give that sense of scale. So let's take out the yellow wool. And get to placing. Yes, sorry if I sound a little bit exhausted. That is because I am. But I do want to keep going. I've been ending stream very early, a lot lately. And I just don't want to do that. I want to keep streaming. So this house can actually have an interesting shape. Reach into the mountain, maybe. Yeah, that works totally fine. And then I also want a building right in here, inside of this mountain. And yeah, wait, let's do it like this. So there's a 2-block pathway in between that maybe could lead into some kind of backyard. And here we have some space to widen this area, which could then lead to a staircase up here and around. Also, if I'm crazy, I could place another house here. And instead of having this be a walkable platform, build a wooden structure around the mountain where people could walk. Okay, can I please stop yawning? It's getting very annoying. Okay, so we have some houses right here. There will be a railing this side and a staircase up to the next layer again. So let's get out the slope tool, raise and lower. Y limit 6, radius 3. And that is a nice staircase. And once you go up the staircase, you will reach another house. Right here. That is also going into the mountain. I think I want to make the staircase a little bit more narrow or also more steep. So it's not 2 blocks of space, but 1 only, which would make a lot more sense for the poor district of the city. Yeah, like this is fine. Now let me just get the flatten tool out. And flatten this one up a little bit. And here we have a space for maybe a little viewing platform. Maybe I could place a custom tree in here. But also there's a lot of empty space. I could just as well place another house to make it look even more cramped. Because of course, if this is the lowest district, like a lot of poor people live here, they don't have much money to buy fancy houses. They don't have much place, much space. And so a lot of houses are very close to each other and maybe even in some dangerous areas. I'm sorry, one moment, my nose is running. It's not better, but the Poland's are taking over again. I don't know, like spring is over, but my allergies are getting worse and worse by the day. So yeah, I don't appreciate that. And look, we have a lot of space right here to extend this platform. Yeah, as we can see, there's so much mountain here. This is enough room to add more stuff. And I want this to be the viewing platform that we just removed. So up here can maybe be a tree, some fences and a bench, and you have a nice view of the entire city. Oh, that could be very cool, yeah. Let's make it a little bit more steep on this side. Also gives me more space to work with, which is nice. And I finished all my water. Give me a moment. I will get myself some more water because it's way too hot to live without. Yeah. Wait. Let me actually discover place at estimate AFK. Yeah, let's say 2 minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's hotter in my room because of my PC. Oh, which is horrible. Let me change this one up a little bit. There's not going to be a house here, so I'll take the space. Yeah, that looks like a nice platform. Obviously still need to build the path upwards, but that's not going to be a problem. And then there's enough space for maybe 1 or 2 extra houses on this side. This actually gets very narrow, the road, and there's not a lot of space. So I will actually push this one a little bit to, yeah, a little bit far behind. And yeah, let's also, just for the sake of it, add 1 extra house that goes into the mountain right here. And with that, we have like 8 houses that I can build now. So let's do that. Let's firstly carve out some of the mountain to make space for this house. Not really carve out, but well, yeah, I don't even need to do that. Can simply replace the wool with tough. Oh, that didn't work. Can't. I actually don't need to terraform anything because I can just build up the walls, and from the outside it's going to look just fine. And interiors also not a problem, because I can just take out the part of the mountain that sticks in. Just need to make sure that the houses don't go too far up. This is almost already too big. Actually it is. Let me carve out 1 layer maybe. Yeah, one, 2. Okay, that is good. Now for this building. This can go up just a little bit further. Yeah, look, this really looks like it just goes into the mountain seamlessly. No problem here. And this one I actually did carve out the mountain for it, so even more space to work with. This one could actually use some expanding. Yeah, 4 blocks high is not really that much, but that's kind of the point of these houses. And we have enough space to make this one go out a little bit more. Let's leave 2 blocks room for walking. 2 blocks to the side. Yeah, that's fine. This can be even further down. The next one will be a little bit further up in exchange for that. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, these houses honestly look fine. I add a roof to that, maybe it could already add a lot to the city and a sense of scale. That sense of scale is very important to me in this one because I always hate when a city in a video game is very obviously just 3 houses and they still try to get away with calling it a city instead of a town. And it's fine if a lot of houses are inaccessible. Like in Dark Souls, for example. Dark Souls has a great, or Dark Souls 1 has a great city. Absolutely amazing. I love the sense of scale that you get when you explore the city. Because in a way, you are really limited on where you can go because it's a linear layout, but also basically the entire map is the city and it's so much variety in the different areas. Also, Final Fantasy has probably what I would consider to be one of the, if not the most accurate cities I have ever seen in a video game. Final Fantasy cities are as big as I would imagine a real city to be. Like if you look at some of them from Final Fantasy 16, those are incredible. Like they have enough space where you could say, okay, this has a proper infrastructure that reaches from a lower district to a higher district to self-sustaining and what do I know. Just looking at some of them really gives you the feeling that there's been a lot of thought that has been put into them. What they build around the crystals that they have. And yeah, I'm always amazed at how Final Fantasy manages to build cities that are so just accurate looking. I'm kind of struggling to find the right words, but I'm sure you see what I mean. Like Final Fantasy cities are as big as a city should be. That is what I'm trying to say. Though yes, most of them are inaccessible to the player, but you can look at them just like in Dark Souls. They are there. They make sense in the world, but they're not really meant to be explored. They just add to the visuals. Which is fine. I don't need to explore a full city. That would probably be too much. But the problem with how this is done in Minecraft is if you have the full freedom of the game, there's nothing really stopping you from exploring stuff that you maybe shouldn't explore. And so when trying to work with a sense of scale in Minecraft, you can't really use many tricks in that way. I cannot just put a skybox here that makes it look like there are a lot of buildings behind the mountains, because the player could just stack up and see that there's nothing there. But I also can't really make them hollow or not really connected to anything, because the player could easily check that. And so when building stuff like that, I just try to pay as much attention as possible to how I place these buildings and how they arrange in a city view, and how that would make sense, and give a sense of scale through placing them tactically. Like now, I could easily just place the buildings down here and call the city done. It already looks really big if you are inside. So there are a lot of paths that you can go, all lead to different buildings and different looking areas. But with having these buildings on the top, and maybe even more that are built into the walls, this already adds a lot, I think. Because now it doesn't just look big, it also feels big, which is kind of what I'm going for. Also, cities are a great way to hide collectibles. Because with all of these houses, there's of course a lot of potential for like having a cellar, maybe that maybe one of these houses is like a bar that has a wine cellar, you know. And in that you could find a secret dungeon, or what do I know? There's so much that you can build with the city in terms of gameplay. And on top of that comes lore. Because if the player spends more time in the city, that would also mean that I can place some more lore pieces, because the player doesn't get burnt out from reading too quickly or too much. Too much too quickly is what I try to say. It's very important when like I place my lore pieces in the form of notes that characters left behind. And the problem with that is, if you're trying to tell a complicated city with a lot of different themes, a complicated story with a lot of different themes and topics, it is very hard to do that in a quick way that conveys the information without wasting too much time. And that is something that is very important to myself, to have, of course, a lot of lore, but also not overwhelm the player with how much lore there is to read and how much notes they have to read in order to understand everything. And the city is a great way to place more notes in a smaller playing area, just because exploring all these houses one by one takes a lot of time. And with the amount of secrets that can be hidden, that also means even more time is spent in the city. And yeah, as you can see, I am kind of building a path behind this house, because I want to create another platform, a third one on top of here, that holds even more houses, but it's not going to be part of the mountain. It's going to be made out of wooden platforms like this. So houses that are standing on top of wooden platforms, looking over the city and filling in maybe some of the blank spots. If we look right now, this already looks like a nice city, but the entire top part is just empty. And I want to get rid of that emptiness through what I just explained. Do we build a ladder or a staircase? Maybe honestly a staircase would be better in this case. And if I take this, what I can do now is create this kind of staircase. Does that work is the question. Yeah, that might honestly work. I need to move this pillar one to the side. And yeah, now I can block this off. With another pillar on this side. I'm improvising the design right now. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I think it doesn't work, honestly. But that's not a problem. There are more than enough blocks that I could use instead. Maybe even dark oak. You know, through patterns like this, like stabilizers between the pillars that I cannot think. What am I even building? Now the idea is cool, but I need to work on the execution, but I don't think I am capable of doing that right now in my current state. Next stream. Next stream will probably still be hot, but at least I'm not going to be tired from eating all day. Okay, but yeah, adding some extra houses on wooden beams alongside the mountain range is definitely one thing that I want to try. Because for now this still looks very empty. You can clearly see the wall behind those houses. And I think that makes it look very small. Yeah, then there needs to be at least one extra layer. I could also go ahead and connect some of this. I'm not ready for that today. Yeah. I also completely forgot about this house that we were in the middle of building. Okay, I need to sit in my gremlin position. Otherwise, it's too straining right now. Tough bricks. Maybe tough bricks could work in between here. Yes, that's not too bad. And then we can still use maybe signs in between because they have a nice texture. Almost. It's not quite it. What about fence gates again? Having them on the bottom instead of at the top. Maybe even a mix of... Oh, wait. Okay. I see what the problem is. Maybe like this. Yeah, why not? Why not, actually? Never mind. Not too much of a fan of that. What kind of blocks could I use? Mud brick wall? No, not really. Yeah, I think this entire building style isn't really built for houses that are this tall. The houses like this simply don't work. And so I need to come up with a different solution, and I think it is cutting this house in half. Don't worry, it will eventually reach the same height, but I need to find a different way to get to that point. Maybe if I make it a little bit... No, I don't want to make a tower like if with some space on all sides and then going up around here. Yeah, that is not really what I want to do. Maybe having this house not be too tall, but having it extend, or like have a bridge, like an outside right here, with a staircase that leads up. So here could be an entrance, an exit to the house that leads right into a staircase to the top. Oh no, wait, I might have an even better idea. Let's get rid of this entire house. And instead make it a lot smaller. Firstly. Like this, yes. And then add some extra houses in all directions. With that, the tower kind of vibe could also go through. Would make a lot more sense. This is too narrow. No, this is not great. And then we have a lot of space in here, and this could be used for whatever kind of maybe like a little marketplace that could now be placed here. Let's just try that out. Yeah, this is 5 blocks tall, this is 4 blocks tall. And this will go to the very top. But this could also be just a little taller to break up the pattern. Yeah, like this. That is fun, actually. Wait, I should finish the walls firstly. Okay, and if we have an entrance here that leads into 2 directions, we could have an open entrance to this side that leads further into the city, and a closed off entrance to this side that leads to the wizard tower, which is a little bit blocked off from the public so that people don't just randomly go there. Maybe we could also try to go for some taller buildings, maybe. Or taller roofs, I mean. Yeah, because the roofs right now are very flat. So it is kind of the charm of this, or what is the word? Let me actually look that up real quick. Yeah, the charm. That's actually the right word. Damn. Yeah, that's kind of the charm of this city. It's the flat roofs. So it makes a lot of sense to maybe keep it that way. But I do want to have some buildings that have more, I don't know. Let's just keep building for now. Today is not the day to innovate on building techniques, and what do I know? It really isn't. Oh wait, I have the half brick walls right here in my inventory already. Not here actually. But in this corner, this is perfect corner for some shading. Oh, I want to build some street lamps. Yeah. Completely forgot about the fact that I wanted to build them. And I think after finishing this house, the time has come. Oh, I'm actually not going to place any trapdoors here because this is going to be blocked off in a different way. So I'm not going to waste my time on placing trapdoors there. Yeah, this building looks a lot better now. What do you think? I believe that's great. No, I forgot the wooden beams. That might look a little bit too messy, actually. But do I care right now? I don't think I do. Let's look at it with shaders. Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh wait, I completely forgot about glow lighting. Okay, shaders one more time. Okay, and we have some more buildings to get through. So let's just start. This is honestly a great kind of work to do while being tired and sweating, because it doesn't require a whole lot of brain, which is, in my state right now, I believe very important, because I don't want to just sit here mindlessly and do nothing. I know exactly, if we didn't have any easy projects left over, I believe that is exactly what I would be doing. Nothing. Yeah, I knew what I pressed on these blocks accidentally. That's why I always turn off Tinker mode. What if we replace all of the walls with moss, or with mossy blocks? I believe the walls right now might bring in some depth, but they also make this whole city look very messy, which is not really the intention. Oh, I have Tinker turned on again. I cannot stop it. Every single time the same mistake. And now I don't have to have it turned off, and I can't even undo my mess ups. Anything else? Or am I done? I am done. Oh my god, I'm literally dying. It is so hot. But I also don't want to end stream early. Oh, oh this is horrible. I'm also not really able to talk. Like, I would talk a lot more because I have some stuff to say, but my whole entire energy goes into pressing on my keyboard and moving my finger, my hand for the mouse. Yeah, it is way too hot. Don't worry about the walls right now, they are not textured. It's just placeholder blocks. I will deal with that at a later point, but I cannot right now. I am so dumb. Give me a moment to rearrange my microphone. Sorry if you can hear that. Okay, I hope it's better now. I have leaned back in my chair. If the sound quality went down just now, I am not even sorry. I am literally dying. Oh, how am I going to sleep tonight? That's the big question. Well, I guess that's not a question because I could fall asleep in my chair right now. Yeah, I do hope that it gets a little bit colder until next stream. Because if it stays like this, I don't know how I will be able to keep going. If I don't fall asleep on stream at that point, it will be a miracle. Because what is even going on at this point? I will keep going for like 26 more minutes, so we are at 1.5 hours, at 2.5 hours, but yeah, this is it is getting unbearable right now. hey, we are almost done with all the new houses, so that is actually some great progress for today, even despite all of the things that are going on right now. But it has gotten worse since I started streaming. Like at the start of stream, it was already bad, but it's not this bad. And it is getting late already, so shouldn't it? I mean, shouldn't it kind of get colder by now? The sun is going down. Please, please spare my life. It's oh wait, let me get back to talking a little bit. It's funny, like every time I think about what do I like more, winter or summer, it is when it's summer, I believe that I like winter more, and when it's winter, I like summer more. And the reason, I guess, is when you're in the situation, like when it's this hot, you start to think, oh, I want it to be colder, therefore winter is the better option. But when it's cold outside, when you're like outside and it's so cold that it hurts on your skin, then you think, oh, if it wasn't just a little bit hotter. And this is the moment when you start longing for summer. And so this is always this back and forth. I still haven't figured out what time I definitely like more. Or like that. What is the other word for that? No, I don't know. I don't care. Um, and Yeah, I haven't found like my final answer for that until now, because every time it's like the seasons are changing, so is my preferences based on what is going on outside. I think that's very funny in a way, because I know if I now say I like winter more than summer, and winter comes around and I have to go outside to do something, like driving or like cycling through the rain and the wind and all of that, then I will definitely change my mind again and say, oh, I like summer more. And so it's a constant back and forth between what season is better in my mind, and I simply cannot decide. I think the best season still is fall, because that's the only season where it's relatively balanced and my allergies aren't killing me. I cannot go outside in spring. I will, yeah, I will stop being a functional human being and just start sneezing for the rest of the day, while also feeling like ripping my throat out because it itches so bad. Yeah. So spring, I would like to claim, is overall, I think, the worst season for me personally because of my allergies. And fall is the best for s- basically the same reason. Both are, I think, same level of hotness. Like, of course, fall is not as hot as spring, but it's both not bad. Like, it's both very bearable and where it's going. Um, yeah, and in summer I'm melting, and in winter I am freezing, and there is no in between. I don't know what is your favorite season? I'll just throw that question into the room in hopes that one day someone answers. Hey, if you are watching this in 5 years, what is your favorite season? Oh, sorry, I hit my microphone. Funny, like I said that, assuming basically that I will still be streaming in 5 years, which I hope I will be doing. I definitely hope that. But of course, I cannot look into the future, and so this is a big assumption with a little bit of hope sprinkled in that I will be able to actually have a community in 5 years if I keep going. But I believe 5 years is more than enough time. Like, even if I don't advertise myself at that point, at least some people will have found my channel through luck or through what do I know. And maybe if my maps are good, I could also find some people from the CTM community directly. There are so many possibilities. I just have to take them. And I think today I'm actually just going to upload the short that I have created so far. And well, I mean, it is way too early to worry about like fake accounts, but uh, just to make sure all of my socials that I will be using will always be linked on some of my channels. So if you're watching a video from my YouTube or my Twitch, you can be sure that all the channels I link on there are also my own personal ones. No exceptions made. Only exception is if I actually state that it is one. But yeah, that is probably thinking way too far into the future. But I mean, with the current state of the internet, this is definitely something that you need to worry about. Even, I guess even small creators have to kind of worry about being impersonated in a way, simply because of how it's going currently. Like someone could be seeing this content thinking this is really nice and copy it, act like they are me, maybe even use AI to I don't know what. With the speed that it's all developing at right now, there's a very high chance that even small creators will be affected by things like that, which is of course horrible, but just to make sure, like, you know, my channels are always linked on my Twitch and YouTube. And unless there's someone like on YouTube and Twitch impersonating me, then you can mostly always be, or not mostly, you can always be sure that it is actually me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just scraping for topics to talk about to fill the silence. I don't want to have this much silence on my streams. It's not great. But at the same time, it is too hot. But I have repeated myself more than enough now. You already know that it's hot for me, so let me stop repeating myself all the time. Okay, we have built some nice houses. Now, yeah, the street. This is my preset. Okay. I think I'll just keep going with mud blocks. Yeah, all of the houses right now don't have any doors, but that's going to change, just not now. And also just a reminder for the future, like if you ever find someone impersonating me, do what any reasonable person would do, report them. Maybe even send me a message about them so I can report them as well. And don't engage with the content any further. I guess it could be helpful to establish those rules early. Which, well, this is still too early, but you get the point. Better be safe, right? I want a wooden staircase leading up to the front door of this house. Yeah, that is a very dangerous house. But that is kind of the point. I want this place to feel not as safe and up to standards as it should be. I mean, this is a nice view. Imagine you're living up here. Like, the city itself is very much not nice, but just the view, maybe even from here where you can see the not yet built castle or like a bridge gate thing with a nice vision over all of the houses here. Ah, yeah. I think we have a decent amount of houses now. Still want to add to that? Just a little bit more would be nice. But we do have a good chunk now. Wait, what blocks have I placed down here? Yeah, also just fences. Yeah, I want to have more of these wooden structures around the upper part. Maybe if I take away some of the path here, instead replace it with wood, that could look nice. Yeah, so right now, not much space. And if I now place some of these, make some wooden beams go up and down properly. Oh, I misclicked. Oh, my bad. That happens if you try to click faster than you can look. I guess we only... Wait, what blocks did I... Oh, I actually deleted a good chunk of blocks that I need. Okay. If I need anything else, I will just get it back. Yeah, right now, connecting this. Yeah, that is honestly great. I like how this looks. It really gives this rundown improvised look where the people who live here had to deal with keeping the infrastructure up. And I still don't really have decided on the world building of this place. Like I have a concept of the culture of like the culture. Did I pronounce that correctly? I always feel like I pronounce things weirdly. So I have a basic knowledge of how living in the city works, but there's of course still a lot of open questions that I have not yet noted down. And every time I think of lore stuff, I usually put it into this lore chest. So yeah, I'm not going to show it because of spoilers, but it is getting regular updates. And let's just dig a little bit further down. Say that a lot of the mountain has fallen down. Not just the few things that we see. Okay, wait, let me take the time to search out something. Never mind. That would be too much work right now. I don't want to waste my time. Yeah, be sure not to fall. That would be bad. Wait, give me a moment. I need to do something real quick. Okay. Back to Minecraft. Okay, yeah, I'm going to worry about the railing later. It's not too bad right now. But look how much it instantly adds. Oh, I cannot even talk anymore. Oh, look how much it instantly adds to the texture if I just add a simple amount of packed mud. Wait, do we have packed mud stairs? Or just mud stairs? Not mud bricks. No, I don't think we have them. Let's use granite instead. Never mind. Yeah, let's use stone stairs instead. That's what I've been doing this entire time anyways. And I think the railing will be rather simple, maybe a simple mud wall. Maybe some extra beams connecting them. Yeah, look, the bridge already adds a lot. I now place all of the roads. But this could honestly turn out better than I imagined it to turn out. Yeah, this little cave right here really gives me this vibe of just hiding something in here. That would honestly look perfect. Just in between these houses. Also, yeah, I have to come up with something to deal with the walls and the texture leaking in. But I'm sure that's not going to be a complicated solution. For now, I'll just use the street blocks and then probably switch it out uh, with the floor blocks. Don't need to worry about that too much. Oh, wait, one thing that I forgot is adding glow. Wait, have I added glow light into all of the buildings? Oh no, not these ones. And guess what? The heat is getting better. I might be able to do the full stream. Oh, finally. It's about time. I love blocks that give that generate particles. Just need to make sure not to spam them too bad. This is a great amount, I believe. The particles can quickly cluster up a lot of the screen, so when placing particles, always make sure to set a limit to how many you are going to place, so it doesn't start looking too messy. I don't know, right now I'm in a way longing to do some Let's Plays again. Yeah, I want to do some Let's Plays again. It's been a long time since I've done any. Last time was when I was actually still doing YouTube. Like not just uploading VODs, but like proper YouTube videos that were meant to only be YouTube, you know? And a few years have passed since then, and I'm kind of getting back that feeling. Maybe I could just do a simple Minecraft Let's Play, or like my now Minecraft is I do way too much Minecraft. If I keep going Minecraft, I'm going to burn out my viewers. Wait, I remember I've talked about I might want to do Nier Automata because I have never actually finished that game, and I definitely want to finish it. So that would be great potential. And just with a very light editing style, so mostly uncut, just removing the very boring bits. Where did my lanterns go? Well, with my inventory management, it doesn't actually shock me that I keep missing blocks. I always try to keep my inventory organized, and then I look away for 1 second and I've middle mouse clicked 10 times already again, and yeah. And this transition is too sharp right now. Yeah, again, all the blocks right here are going to get replaced at one point, just not now. All filler for now. Oh no. Yeah, let me do some bit for this side. I think I want to make this building into a shot, so let's finish this building up as much as possible. Yeah. Okay, so we basically have today's, or not today's, but the next shot. Oops, that was wrong. And yeah, some frog spawn down here. Oh, that is a little bit too much. Oh yeah, I also want to have one of these mud thingies. Maybe right in this corner. Oh yeah, whoever's living here did not clean up properly after the last rain or whatever. However these mud stains appeared here. What else? Ah yes, a door. The very most important thing of a building. Okay. Spruce door and polished andesite on top. And that honestly looks nice. Okay, no, because this is the short building, I want to have it be even more full. So how about I add a little wooden kind of structure right here? Going right around this corner. And then a little window from which you can reach this place. Yeah, why don't we build windows out of oak trapdoors? Now that I look at this, that's not too bad. Yeah, and I think next time I want to build the interior of some of these houses, not all of them, but I might want to get started on them. Yeah, wait, let me replace this right here. We have better windows now. And yeah, I don't think this needs anything more. Maybe some even more dead bushes. Yeah, that's great. Let's look at it with shaders again, so I have a final view for... Turn on keybinds. Every time I switch versions, Minecraft resets all of the... or not all of the, but a lot of the keybinds. And once at daytime, okay, that should be enough clips to pick out. Okay, and we have something to build here. And I think I want to make just a slight staircase, maybe 1 or 2 blocks up. And then that should lead into a wooden platform that extends all the way around this building. Oh great, I don't even need to adjust the height. Just flows in perfectly. Yeah, I want the city to feel full, and I believe just adding details everywhere is a very good approach to that. Because I need to be honest, I'm not too great about building different house variations, or what do I know. There's just so much that I have not really been able to get into ever, and so I need to, at many points, make up my own way. And I think in the case of this city, it is definitely adding details everywhere. Okay, I cannot really use campfires here. But what I can do is make this transition a little bit nicer. Also, like, I need to be honest, like, cutting together a clip in a short amount of time, like starting a project, finishing it in the same day. Like doing a clip maybe takes me an hour at most, because it's still 3 hours of footage that I have to get through. But doing a clip is very satisfying. It is a quick process, and you get basically instant feedback from yourself because you have created something in a short amount of time. And yeah, something about that feels very rewarding. This is what I have noticed last time I created that short clip that I'm going to upload today. That it's so satisfying if you just do it. But yes, of course, it is like still a time investment. You still have to put time into doing those things. Clips will not build themselves, but that is also kind of the point. If you were to not, or if you don't work for your own things, then it is a lot less satisfying. And now seeing how the city is slowly starting to take shape and turn out really nicely, that is also some form of that feedback. Though in this case it is much slower than editing a video, of course. Okay, let me actually put together a quick wall so that this building is actually looking properly finished. And then yeah, I think I want a slightly darker wall consisting of a very simple gradient that is tough cobblestone. And what is the third block we're going to be using? Something not too bright and not too dark as well, of course. Let's actually look at the color picker real quick. This is very broken. But yeah, I guess Axiom has fixed that in their newest update. I just haven't downloaded that one yet. Definitely need to, though. Not sure about concrete. It's too one-colored. Not enough noise. Basalt, I think, is still too dark. Yeah. I might not want to work with stone bricks necessarily. Terracotta is also very one-colored, but it has a different kind of texture to it that I might be able to work with a little bit more. We take gray terracotta maybe? Nothing really fits. Cyan terracotta. Yeah, cyan terracotta is nice. Okay, so the gradient consists of cyan, tuff, and cobblestone in that order. And I've just deleted the block I need. And I've deleted it again. Anyways. Okay, now I need to be careful. Because I could easily replace blocks that I don't want to replace. So let me make the shape as small as possible. Yeah, I actually like this gradient a lot. Looks very nice. Okay, that is fine. I was worried it might reach up too far, but that was actually okay. Oh, wait, I have mask surface on. My bad, my bad. Okay, well, at least this is easy to replace. Now going over the ground one last time for today. And I have actually done a full stream despite saying that I wanted to end early because of the heat. Yeah, that is very nice. I was not expecting to last this full stream. But yeah, the sun has gone down since, and well, I mean, it is still up, but it is definitely not as hot anymore. Yeah, and this gradient has a lot more color now. Not as gray anymore. It's still gray, of course, but in a different way. It has some more texture to it. Do I use this as the thumbnail? Would be nice, honestly. Let me paint this side of the mountain as well, just so it looks a little better. Oh, I cannot see my inventory. Yeah, I don't want people to be able to see grass on the thumbnail, I think. Makes it look just slightly more finished. Yes. Yes, 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 that is it. But okay. This entire road is not even nearly done. Yeah, I really enjoy how this corner turned out. That is so nice. Let's take one extra look with shaders at daytime. Yeah, honestly, I think this turned out just as I imagined it to turn out. This is very nice. But okay, okay. Let's not stretch it out too far anymore. I am still very tired. Not so hot anymore, but very tired. And yeah, I will now go ahead, render this the stream, upload the clip, and then edit the next clip. And yeah, next stream is going to be on Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to know when that is in your time zone, please feel free to look at my schedule tab on Twitch. It is up to date. You can look at that for my stream schedule as the tab name says. Yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you had fun and have a nice day, evening, night, morning, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you next time. Bye.